because I gotta edit yeah, honestly, it would really depend because like, is it something that like we've had a joke about for years, or is it something to infinity and forever beyond? Alright. I'm gonna grab a plate quickly. Then we're maybe I found the plate. Wait. How big was the set? 12 minutes. In love with an idiot. I think I say that almost every. Yes. Yes. You know, baby. Study for like another hour and then call it a night or something. You've been studying all day, I'm assuming? 2 hours. Study for another 2 hours and then Just call it a night. You work so hard. What are you saying for just or alrighty, folks. I got my glasses on. Had headaches all fucking day. Let's pray for her fucking God. Also, I just think it's cooperating with me. Hey. Okay, God. Hello, folks. Welcome to Weem. I have peanut butter chocolate bar. I got half a Subway. Well, a Mr. Sub. I didn't get Subway. I got a Mr. Sub. Delicious, by the way. I think I like it better than Subway now. So that Mr. Sub's Canadian, right? Hey Siri. Mr. Sub.
One moment. The only option I found is Mr. Sub on Carling.
No, I don't want. Hey Siri. Mr. Sub Wikipedia. Oh. Okay, ruin my fun. Ruin all my fun, I guess, babe. Is that not a thing anymore? We're gonna Quiznos and PEI. I miss $5 footlongs at Subway. They should do that again. $5 footlongs. Annie. Even if it's just like, they have like the sub of the day. Let's just do that with $5 footlongs. Okay, with one. Probably, but I think if they just don't do every single sub as $5 footlong, I think they do like sub of the day is a $5 footlong. I think that would work. I also got a coffee I've been sipping on since 10 o'clock this morning, apple juice, and water. We're set up for the trial today. My throat will not be parched because I won't be talking so much during the trial. It's been a while since we watched the whole opening. It's choppy as fuck. But we've seen the whole opening right now.
Danganronpa.
Once again, we go into settings, fix the sound. Why can't they just keep the settings how I like them? Why? I almost pressed the wrong thing. And one of my cats is. Okay, so Anyway, so where were we? Oh yeah, so we're about to start trial 3 of the first game, obviously, as you can tell by my title and what I'm playing during stream. And I remember drink just like real good water, crisp water, for the filter all the way. So I think my filter needs to be changed. Anyways, so so Taka and Yafimi are dead. They'll go into the whole story once we start the trial. So that's all you need to know. They're dead. Everyone thinks it's Hero. And we are about to enter in. I'm literally let's pray to God while I'm playing today. My work doesn't eat at past 7 o'clock. I'd be really appreciative if I don't get bothered by work. Hey. Anyways, we are going to begin. Alrighty. Let's enter the red door. Everyone has heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there,
Monokuma appears!
he multiplied.
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks like that way because of an illusion. Moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Just like, oh my god, side note. You know what I finished today? You know what I finished today? Fucking finished Assassination Classroom, and that is so... I cried. I was at work when I finished it, and I teared up. It was such a good show. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it. Anyways, so it just reminded me of fucking, Koro Sensei when he moves so fast. Oh, it looks like I'm white. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? We just get on the elevator already.
Boy,
Not playing
crowd.
along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
And if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please.
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, Hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. I'm gonna get back into how I kind of voice everyone.
What the heck?
I told you I didn't do it. For serious.
Hmm.
That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume? Or the note? No. Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations from getting into the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to. I have to do it. Can't let whoever killed Tafumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Tafumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. Were we really friends with them though? The killer is... someone right here. I'm just gonna talk to everyone real fast.
Damn.
I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude.
Just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hero pay for his crimes. Were you listening? Wait till we get to the courtroom to begin your arguing. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time.
Hey.
The story begins when we get down there. It wasn't me. You gotta believe me.
Yes, yes.
Come on, Big Mac. Let's do it. Why Big Mac? Took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. Began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the door closed on their own. The steel box began to move. The clunking in the elevator kept us company as we felt further and further down. I will say it still gets me every time we go in the elevator, like how few more people are there, and like it's so weird. Or like every time you see like the group shot with everyone in there, there was no going back. Until we settled this, we couldn't go anywhere. Not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. Elevator door slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. I'm going to have my hair away. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I just realized how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching the climax.
Just
But
the
whoa.
worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? Fucking can't. What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I'll never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break.
Yahoo!
Never hold on. I'll never hold out on you. Wait, what? So the curtain opened once again. Deadly judgment, deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. Deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Oh my God. I gotta like. Oh. Wait, what? Oh. Oh thank God. Yeah, my I plugged in my computer. And I was wondering why it was late. Figured it out because I didn't plug it in because I'm a moron. I didn't have like that hard of a day. It's just been like. Oh, and I please. Okay. Anyways. And then here I am. Like, why is it lagging? I make computer lagging. How do you? Fine. First is a bed. Alrighty. I have some. Okay. Cool. Hair, my bangs. I tried doing something cool with my bangs and it just didn't work. My bangs are getting too long. Get a haircut. Or I need to cut them myself. I don't know. I'm a mess right now, guys. But what is it? Like, I can't put something on my. Big gay energy. Like, this hat doesn't stay on well, so I don't know why I used to stay on really nicely. Lately, I don't know if I just don't have it adjusted properly. Alrighty, folks, we're gonna start trial. I don't even know if these even help me or I'm using them properly, but I like having them now. Kind of it. Everything gets re-explained to us, so.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know! I don't know!
How would you want access to materials? You're really the killer. Or for anything else, we have to make that clear. Make your argument.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
I mean, looking at the blueprints, the handwriting is awfully messy. If I remember right, Here's handwriting is...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof. that you are
Oh my
the
God.
culprit.
So why?
It's not true. It's a
Okay,
conspiracy.
figured it out, folks.
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Also, I like to try to hear it through once before I try to shoot it, just so also we get the whole context, and also I'm an idiot.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts,
No, that's wrong!
No, that's wrong.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
what do you mean?
Well, take a look at this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the note
Right.
that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints,
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
That's really hard to forge handwriting.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their
It
handwriting.
is really hard.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
And to keep the
Come
differences
on.
consistent.
I'm not smart enough to
it's
think of trying to
really
change
hard
my
to do.
handwriting anyway.
So, Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
Yes.
And he's not the only one. I think Hero's innocent as well.
Fuck yeah, Byakuya.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
He what?
Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
It's a little more complicated than that, Hina.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
It was Hero. And of course, he passes it off to me.
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
It was Hero. Suspicious individual. The one in the must have been in the suit was.
I got it!
It is Hero.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
Oh my god.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
And I oop.
So what you're saying is...
And I oop.
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
Thank you, Byakuya.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
I will say, Byakuya, I do eventually warm up to him. I do, like, I forget how much, like, he kind of changes as the game progresses. I'm starting to like him a little more. Children are yelling because they think it's dinner time, even though it's not for another hour and a half almost. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm starting to like Byakuya. I forget that, like, I don't like him, and then I start to like him again, you know? Anyways.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
Fuck off.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Things that were used to move Taka's body must have been...
I got it!
Still one more thing. Thing that we used to move Taka's body. That must have been...
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
I'm smart. The attitude.
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing.
Might
I'm
take
sure
a
the
less
dolly
amount
was
of
in the
vitamins.
equipment room when we first found Taka's body there.
Yeah, vitamins. Well, calcium citrate.
But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository,
Almost dying.
so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Hey!
Huh?
Stop trying to eat my sandwich.
Are you absolutely positive
Get out
the
of my
dolly was in the
sandwich.
equipment room when we found
Yeah.
Taka's body?
Yeah.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
No.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
Byakuya, fuck
There
you,
is no shame in
Byakuya.
being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We
That
have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
I'm sorry. I have been literally one of these sole bitches to solve the last 2 crimes. How fucking dare you, Celeste? I'm gonna kick your ass in about 2.5 seconds. You don't shut your mouth. You've been talking schmack. Won't let you know I've been taking Taekwondo lessons behind the homework part. It's not. I fucked up so badly. Do you know the line by heart, babe? Okay. Okay, I need you to say it one more time, but actually for that the mic can pick it up. While I wait for her, I'm gonna just try to tie my hat just a little bit. Okay, so this is my girlfriend's rendition of the audio that I fucked up badly. Give me one moment to Okay, there we go, babe. Take the floor. Yeah, well, I heard you've been talking some smack, and I just want to let you know that I've been taking Taekwondo lessons in the back of a Walmart parking lot, so if you don't want to get her, I suggest you stop. Me, it's Celeste. I think I got all of it. Oh my god. I heard you talking those schmack. That's my favorite. Yeah, but yeah, this little motherfucker, my little child's been trying to eat my sandwich. You pay $17.04? No. Less than. Baka. Which one? Why am I mothering your mom? Stepmom. I'm the adoptive mother. Fucking hate. I'm gonna die. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change her mind. And just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. New element has been added to the booth. Fuck! We're in trial 3! Why are there new elements being added? Loading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the X button now is a function along with A and Y. You'll automatically reload at the start of a fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if you action difficulty set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, ignore everything I just said. Me, I am on gentle. Moment of truth.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
I'm horrible at the tempo game.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Ooh.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Hair's not cooperating. Jesus, Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
The robot?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you
Makoto,
look
do it.
back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If you look at how the body was moved, it'd be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. Oh. I know. What does he mean by that? I know. Make your argument.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly,
you sure?
no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Hero, you're a dumbass, so it's fine. The dolly doesn't have any handles, so to push it, you have to be able to bend over. But would anyone wearing the suit have been able to actually stoop down like that?
As we know, Taka, and from there.
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the dolly.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly...
Well, yeah, but even without it, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Fuck. No.
Then you could push
Dang
the dolly,
it!
no problem. So the killer and carted the body.
If you accept, then you must realize that who...
Sorry, I don't think
I hate my
realized
life that I
anything.
don't know how to play video games! I know.
As we know, Taka, and from there.
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it on.
Now,
Keep in mind that the dolly...
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I have my finger on the
Even
right
without
button
a
this
handle,
time.
All you'd have to do is bend over.
Got it!
No, that's wrong.
Finally! Why does this keep happening?
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low.
Take my pillow off.
But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seemed like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Just kick it.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body, because you can't take it off by yourself. There's a little crispy claws.
I got it!
I have to go
I don't
change
think
out my
taking
sweater.
off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing. There's a class in the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It's pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. You don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Okay, I gotta change out the sweater. Though I really like being in my comfy sweaters, it is bothering me. By yourself? Yeah, and how did that turn out? Ooh. I got a Sailor Marine shirt. A crop top moment. The hood was just bothering me. I don't really have any sweaters without hood. Oh. I guess like go on here. Talk about fucking bothersome. Okay. Okay. Let's keep playing.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
Yep.
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
Yep.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
That's a weird thing to fucking
If
do,
whoever
though.
was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? The guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. Ooh, that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
You know, you dumbass motherfucker.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it.
Hina is definitely one of those people who you'd be like, well, if your friends jump off a bridge, would you? And then, like, Hina would be the one, like, being like, my friends are jumping off a bridge, and, like, run. Right, like, this girl. This girl is so gullible, not a thought in her mind about anything. Just literally whatever the opinion is at the time, she takes. Anyways.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
Yeah.
Instead
sure
of
hope
seizing on
we
one
do.
viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Up my butt.
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what
I'll
happened.
check off my meds for the day.
I
take all my
suppose we
meds
could start
today.
with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi.
I want to point out, we don't know his
were
actual
soon
name.
joined in our search by
Hifumi just
Byakuya
calls
and
him that.
Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? Saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was walking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hall and disappeared.
And then...
Ah! Huh? What was that? Came from downstairs. It must have been... Ifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. While Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time. Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising.
Yumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
2.
And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
No!
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
Y'all gonna make the mention that there was a second body's been discovered announcement?
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I'll have to find them no matter what. Make your argument.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that he flew while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if...
Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Dang it! Dang it!
So, regarding I wonder if... Or perhaps it was... We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Shoot!
So, I wonder if... Or perhaps it was... We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the number...
It's true that Hifumi while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
I
I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were... Taka came last.
What makes you...
I'm an idiot.
Because of the numbering of the...
It's true that Hifumi was while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
I'm a moron. I think I know what
So,
to do.
regarding Taka, I wonder if he died before, perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
There we go.
That's wrong.
Oh my god, I'm a moron. Okay, fine.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
I literally forgot about a mechanic in this fucking
If
game.
anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Yes.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
I got proof, Byakuya. Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something related to what time he must have died. I have it. I know what it is. Ah! Wristwatch. Got it. Ah!
Now I
A
understand.
wristwatch. A wristwatch.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
I genius. Hey, you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
Fucking mints.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be
Shit.
true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Are you sure about that? Yeah. Huh? What was that? Came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true,
Pretty
where's the tape?
raspberry.
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Bitch, she's like
Anyway,
me.
we all
I
have
just-
rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Also, my phone was gone. I was away from my phone for an
Besides, I
hour.
didn't do
and
either
work
of
is,
them
like, blowing up
anyway.
my phone.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies.
Sure about that.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
Razzie.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
You not have gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Fumi's body in that short amount of time. It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... No!
Good job,
I
Hero.
don't think it has anything
Still
to
using
do
your
with
brain
the
cells.
occult.
Love it.
I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Are you sure,
Perhaps he was
Hina?
simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The day Fumi was still alive. Sure, Celeste? Is it really possible? Yes. Yes, it is.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Sure about that, Celeste?
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Sure, the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Fumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost the exact same time. It wasn't!
Are you saying that when
It
we
wasn't.
first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
I played twice, motherfucker!
there's a chance he was actually
Oh
still
my
alive?
God.
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery
I
announcement
might
along
do
with
the
the
wrong
rest
thing
of
again.
us.
Same.
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to
Signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is
Impossible. Hifumi was dead. And you know that.
surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Dang it.
Shoot!
I'm a
Are you
moron,
saying that when we
guys.
first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Hifumi was dead. And you know that.
Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Dang, okay, I think...
Shoot!
I have no
Are you-
idea. I'm gonna fail this.
There's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that
Is why the Are we really?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I have one more chance at this.
Are you saying that when we first found there's a chance he was...
no.
It is Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery and Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Oh my god. Finally! Ah!
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intense for me?
Of course it was. The announcement made after we discovered
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Yeah.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
God
Well,
dang it.
it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But
That is
what I
just a
can
thought
say
following
about
me.
the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
And
Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second body discovery now. First time we played was when we found each body in the nurse's office at the equipment room. Second time was when both
I
bodies.
got it! We heard it a second time in the repository when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
A body has been discovered after some amount of time, which you may use however you like. The class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body.
Me alone.
Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Must be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. Time to find it and show it to everyone. I know. I know.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned,
Incorrect. Incorrect.
Then, was he really alive?
of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous.
You're ridiculous. Hifumi body was found in their office, and when it was found again in the repository, there's definitely some sort of conflict there. You know what it
Well,
is.
here's one thing we do know. The first time we found him, and then his body
And the next time it was in.
But when you compare his body before being moved,
Other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no
Dang it,
notable
okay.
difference.
Shoot!
well, here's one thing. The first time we found him, and then his body
And the next time it was in.
But when you compare his body before,
Other than the change in how it was, there was no notable difference.
I
No,
knew that,
it's
and I'm
wrong.
a moron. An actual idiot.
In fact, There was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
Ah!
His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository,
No blood.
they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was... Wait a moment.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning block featuring a
8:45.
certain cartoon mascot.
Why?
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things
Babe,
clear.
always assume I'm always gonna be if I work in the morning, I'm always gonna work
glasses clean.
before you even have to leave.
And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
What? Oh yeah. I've been opening a lot. I just assume I open unless I like tell you otherwise. What? That's bullshit. Okay, well, I open every day this week except for Thursday when I'm off and Saturday night when I close. So, Ah. Don't leave me alone. I'll scream like a baby goat. Ah! Luigi, ah! I say next year for Halloween, sexy Wario and Waluigi. But I'm Waluigi. No, it's Waluigi's my favorite, and you can pry him out of my dead, cold hands, bitch.
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
Oh, yeah.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Demon
I
Angel.
highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
Maybe Chihiro.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
What's the point?
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead...
Yo, they really laying in these fucking fat jokes with him.
What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
One who moved Taka's body was Sakura. It was her, that bitch.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
And
that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If having trouble, would you like me to show one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. This fact, his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
I know what it is. The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka could have been. I know what it is.
I got it!
I got it.
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
Ew.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole. Maybe we can escape. Found a hole we can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants.
I got it!
Ew.
That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary. But still, can't let her get to me. Make your argument. Oh shit, there's 3! Shit.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
Okay, I know it's about the wristwatch. Come on notes at 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? That's what I need to figure out.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was in must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it?
6 a.m. The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
No,
Ding
that's
dong,
wrong.
your opinion's wrong.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
Genocide Jill invented TikTok
hell are
for
you talking
TikTok
about?
was a thing.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Yeah.
Well, when you put it like that.
No further objections.
Just sneezes.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less.
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Shut the fuck up, Byakuya.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's
I am a brain
scrap
cell.
and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That
Yes,
means
Queen.
Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The
Oh.
second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibi.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. A walrus.
Anyway, when they were killed, bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what would that be?
A weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
Weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository...
Did this man have a thought that makes sense? This motherfucker really come in here, no brain, only hair, and had a decent thought to his. We love a character with growth.
The culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Ifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah! It's packed in there good and tight.
Stop it.
He's right, though.
Stop.
I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. Make your argument. I like when they give me one answer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers! And, that's about it.
Hifumi was killed in the repository, right? So the weapon used to kill both of them were actually similar.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, what if there's one? How was the culprit? How did nobody witness?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, what the murder weapon and that's about
It's
it.
either the first.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Was it
Kinda.
maybe Justice? Well, whatever it was, there's one thing. How was the culprit able to move? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make
Dang
its
it.
appearance!
Shoot!
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Dang it. Fuck. I don't know.
Shoot!
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing. How was the culprit able to move around so? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/.
Well, what
The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers! And...
What was used to kill Hif? Was it just maybe Justice?
Well, there's one thing. How was the culprit? How did nobody
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its. Check out murdergear.com/hammer.
well, one thing
The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
Dang it, I'm not. Fuck.
Shoot!
I just died. No, it's done.
Is
Also, why is it automatically me?
I
didn't think-
refuse to give up yet.
Fuck him is. Side note. Why would it be me? Wouldn't it logically be go to hero? Oh, this game is so unfair. Always wanting to kill me. Because I have some good luck sometimes. Oh, okay.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Was it maybe justice? Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody witness? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance. Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info.
Shoot!
What was used to? Was it
I don't know.
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody? Sounds like a Justice Hammer. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, one thing, the murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, that's wrong.
Seriously? Fuck me.
The murder
Fuck
weapon
me.
wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
I don't think so, my guy.
But seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris.
Just like my personality.
But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the justice hammers
We're also missing
used those
hammers.
as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
That's
And
the
whoever
team.
did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk with this how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first. But make your argument.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together.
Not
on
impossible.
this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Really? See, there's no chance.
Based on the rules that have been laid out,
Even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
that is,
But that only really applied. In this case, however, there were two murders.
based on the rules that have,
Even if more than one,
only the one who actually carried out, assuming the rule holds true.
Fuck you.
No, that's wrong.
Fuck you, Celeste. Hate your guts.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. the reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think
Yes.
that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Shocker.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Tina, why are
You
you
think
shocked?
so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidences. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. No such thing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this. Oh, gee! Oh, gee! Have you seen how she's dressed? No. Oh, she's good at this? Do you see the coat she never takes off? No shit.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
True killer manipulated Hifumi, carried out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's only really one person who seems to fit.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Yeah.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Oh, yeah.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
It has a quarter of a pie. A mood. Wish I could do that. No, it takes me literally 12 hours to eat a 12-inch sub. Date. That's true. I'm a very cheap date. I got lunch for the next day. Oh. Well, I mean, to last me the whole day. I don't like pumpkin pie. Sacrifice me to the gods. I do not like pumpkin pie. I don't like most pies. I like pie filling. I don't like pie crust. Not my thing. Much.
I don't like lasagna anyway.
I am not a fan of lasagna.
Gosh, how are you?
I eat tomatoes like they're fucking apples, so it makes up in the end. Amanda doesn't even like tomatoes, so
really.
I'm more Italian than Amanda. What are you up to? I wish I could help you. The only way I can help you is not appropriate for.
Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
I also want to point out, I do not know if they're going to mention this. Earlier, when we found Hifumi's body, you mentioned something about two bodies. What is it that the only Hifumi and Celeste have in common?
I got it!
Encountering the suspicious
The behavior
individual.
they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Fuck yeah.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Shut the fuck up, Byakuya.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
I want to point out, technically the only actual adult in this whole thing is Hiro. So, shut the fuck up.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow of something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hall and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been... Fumi! He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
And why don't we split up into two groups? I'll leave the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Oh, what the fuck? Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
Gross, babe.
And on top
She
of
burped.
that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. Did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered. Wait, no. Never mind.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Oh my god.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You
Fuck
made
off.
one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What I mentioned earlier.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Here it is. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all gonna die here. Oh. We're gonna die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but
She didn't know there's two dead bodies.
What's so strange about it?
I think
Then
that.
pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Thank you, Byakuya.
Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
This dumbass mother.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Like I said, the Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. What is he alluding to? I know what he's alluding to. I got it. Make your argument.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated.
Nope.
We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so
It is.
strange about Celeste's comment?
So I shouldn't have known about Hifumi's death. That in mind, what's so strange with what she said?
All I said was they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die.
We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Fuck.
Shoot!
Wait, no, okay.
All I said was they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. And that is.
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was they must really enjoy.
I got this. I got it this time.
They must be.
I got it this time. I got it this time, folks.
Just like those.
Got it!
Yeah,
buddy!
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys die. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Gotcha, bitch!
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It was staged.
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Yeah.
So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
Sure.
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Are you sure, Celeste? Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging.
I got it!
Yes, Hifumi is
It's
dragging.
not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Oh yeah.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing
Let me get my
is
coffee.
utterly impossible.
How?
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Do not tell Kyoko to shut her mouth, bitch. Last thing to confirm, there's no way Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Let's make your argument. Oh shit! I pressed it. I'm sorry.
Shoot!
I pressed the wrong button. I'm sorry.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Remember, right? Hina said she said they couldn't be. Yeah. Okay, I know what it is.
Dressed me up in that suit after. Then you just draped me across it. You tried to make me look.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture,
If the person inside the suit was there's no way they could stand up straight like
Incorrect, Celeste,
No,
because we
wrong.
talked about this earlier. Bitch.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Mm-hmm. Totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well
was a
then,
new one.
I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Fumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
I don't like her
He
voice.
said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
Mood.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
Ooh!
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
You got me, please.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
Oh, it's
I'm
Hagakure.
sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
I'm basing Hiro's last name saying Hagakure because of fucking My Hero Academia. It's Hagakure. Fuck. Okay.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Are you sure about that?
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well,
Wow.
do I? What? I think I I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up!
My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
But still won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it. Okay. Make your argument.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
That's the only truth there is! Moron!
I think there is a way. I remember there's something here that shows its owner's real name. Sure, Kyoko mentioned something like that at some point. May not be related to the case, but it might come in handy.
Hifumi
Anyways!
was trying to tell us
Something. He wanted us to know the killer. If there's one person,
It would have to be you, Celeste.
how many times? Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending.
and since you have no way to contradict,
Are you sure about that?
No, that's wrong.
Are you sure? Are you sure about this, Celeste?
That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
He did. This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it'll display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
that's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes.
Here we go, folks.
And that'll bring everything to an end.
I have done the worst in this fucking... God. Oh my, okay, I'm concentrating real hard. As you can tell. Can I put the ones that are like most obvious, then I can kind of like... Shit. What? Aw, baby boy. Let's see if this works. This has been the hardest fucking
Here's
trial.
exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Okay. That's correct. For one.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
What, baby?
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Hiro!
That
Hiro-san!
someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him...
She almost dropped my fucking tablet.
They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo
I really hope I got
suit.
this right on one go.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault.
Because there's no timestamp on the photos.
They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro.
Also, my ear is
When they
so
were done
blocked
with
right
him,
now.
they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
I love this art style, side note. So pretty.
The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken.
The funniest fucking
They wanted
photo
to make
of
sure we
fucking
bought the
Hifumi.
surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back. And when we returned, that's what we found.
Babe, you feed them? Okay, thank
Meanwhile,
you.
the other
It's
group
time
that
for
had been
them
out
to-
searching found Taka's body at the same time.
What?
So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room.
So far, so good, folks. Oh, thank God.
He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared.
What?
But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case.
I get it all
The
right.
villain behind it
Fuck
all
yeah! Yeah. Oh, so pretty. I love when I get things right.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Haha!
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor.
I, Celestia Ludenberg.
Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
What?
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
That's why there was a fucking time event in the middle of the game. I did so bad. I got so many B's. Ugh, that really hurts.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Dramatic. Well,
What?
it's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blocking this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestial Lugenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. Guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Yumi ineptitude was beyond all my calculation.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Ifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty. Lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then.
Then did you use... You know. I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. Get Hifumi to act as my accomplice.
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but... It was the only thing Hifumi and Tako were both super into. Does she mean... Are you talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? Whoa, what? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one who stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it had disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you. Alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
What?
are you okay
It was
with
Taka. He stole it.
this? So
And I have
then,
proof. Would you like to see it? As it turns out, I found a use for the digital camera. Alright, I had taken to you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took photos of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. How did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
Did?
as for me,
Came to my room last night, unannounced, and then, it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. Said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So, I had no choice.
Damnation!
It's a crime, an absolute crime. I mean, I knew he'd gotten a little crazy, but...
Say
I
what?
never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I never said before in my life. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
most
Wait,
unfortunate.
please, if you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually,
Taka claims to use her to escape, and he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka's gonna try to kill you.
indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself. That bastard.
This is unforgivable. Completely unforgivable.
Bastard.
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear!
I have to save her.
Save her!
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Yumi agreed without a second thought. The fact that item had on him was remarkable. Power of love. Even a love as twisted as that can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. And all I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So why did you try to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid.
huh?
That's it!
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Fumi, how did you explain the part of him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretending to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he's been seriously wounded. He's on the verge of death, but he's just barely hanging on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, it wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was gonna murder somebody else. At that point, Hifumi would have had an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed me. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
You had planned to kill him all along? But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win. I think I've changed out my nose
Don't be
there.
mean.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder
No,
about that.
he derives his pleasures from the thrill of the hunt. That aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Is it really just for the money?
Hmm.
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money. It's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But
all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little
I wanted
bitch.
to get out of here. Every day was fresh torture. And you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
Isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. Castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was gonna make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Girl! Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of
This is
I
fine.
don't know what the word is. Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That was life is all about. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end. So why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own end. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is
That's
this?
what we should be saying. And plus, how could you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. That's why you're not scared?
Yes,
That's
indeed.
right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, I could be reincarnated. If I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You'll just get executed again. Les smiled then. When she did, it looked like to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings. That statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills,
You're all
chills,
done?
kills!
Okay, then let's get rolling. The blackened disturbed the peace and must pay you the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
The ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Kate Celeste. Love her voice actor. Love her voice actor. Celeste being found guilty. Time for the punishment. The burning of the daily witches? I don't know how to speak. You want to see this execution, babe? Yeah, I'm almost done. Want a headphone? From this game, I think it's one of my favorite executions. Stupidest one. The fuck? It's over. Hold on. It's one of my favorite. I think from. It's one of my favorite executions from this game. It's probably in my top like 3 from all the games, just because it's It's so stupid, but it's a favorite. Fan favorite. Okay. Third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Oh my god. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her. But I can't also deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. No, god no. And for him to just come along and I'm like halfway now. Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives. I need a shower tonight.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiments of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you going to make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. You already said. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question. You answer mine.
you.
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh, how exciting.
What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? Mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all desperate and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but was that the key Celeste? What's that key Celeste gave you?
So.
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easier to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm gonna go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so.
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I meant. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just gonna draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
And it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means? Oh my god, girl.
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. are totally pushovers when you show a little backbone. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then,
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste has given her and unlocked the locker. As the locker swung open, we saw...
You're really cool.
Good morning! It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe. Goodness. Never hear Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I sat quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a little longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as the incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we talk a sec? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me. What are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
you.
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes it even more... That makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time? You just appeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that...
Indeed.
It's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I wanted you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. See, what I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. When it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back, it said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about could it really be hidden here? She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. And suddenly, as if I was being yanked in... Gonk! Same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? Turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet. Way in the back of the closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? A bunch of files and what looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookcase caught my eye. Oak Peak Academy Student Registry. That's the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file in my hand. Before I had a chance to look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and it turned my attention away. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I don't understand if it says, like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What's this? My head feels funny. Strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. Seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? I didn't even get to check the desk! Fuck! A strange sound rang out through my head. Feels like it was shaking my brain back and forth. Then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Apparently, something hit me and I've lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. A normal desk with no. An empty bookshelf. Empty? Gone. It's all gone. Yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my friend refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow, I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... Huh? From a vast distance, I heard a sound. Faint, but undeniable. Sound. Coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? Can't be nothing. Here in the gym. I didn't make a sound as I opened the doors to the gym. Sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. For me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. One side it's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. Forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
Deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? then could it be your mastermind spy is... Seven surviving students. To be continued. Here see the Super Robot Justice present. Leon killed Sayaka. Monokuma killed Junko. Then Leon got executed. Mondo killed Chikiro. Then he got executed. Fumi killed Taka. Then Celeste killed Tafumi. Then she got executed. That brings us up till now. That is where we're going to end, folks. So yeah, it was... Yeah. I'm here is gonna start freaking out. I have not been in focus this whole time. Already, girl. Be that way. Second, my computer is starting to freak out. So yeah, the last masterminded the whole thing. Not my favorite trial, but it's still very interesting. Like the process of finding it out and putting together. Because I will say, even though I knew like what was kind of coming, remembering how it all came together is like was really like, doing it. I think this is the second time. So yeah. So it's only gonna get more interesting from here, folks. Found a secret room. We got hit over the head with by somebody with something. Sayaka fighting Monokuma. It is only going to get more intense from here. We will be back on Wednesday, I believe, at 7. I'll double check that, but it will probably be 7 if I have to change it. And we're going to get into chapter 4. Who knows what's going to happen next, folks? Probably more death. Yeah, I'm super excited. I've been loving playing this game. I hope you guys have been watching me play. And yeah, what are your predictions in the next little bit? For those who haven't played the game or only know so little of the game, what are your predictions? Who's the mastermind? Why did we get hit over the head? So many things. What's Kyoko's shit? Who knows? Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna call it a night tonight because I gotta go help my girlfriend try to bathe our son. The last time I did that, he gave me scratches so long on my back that took like 3 weeks to fully heal. So it'll be interesting. Uh, anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing night. I will see you Wednesday, and yeah, stay safe. Bye now.